Hello, it's Rebecca here from Precious Pages Papercraft, and today I'm designing a layout for SpiegelMom Scraps. And I'm going to be playing with the November kits from Hip Kit Club. So I've pulled out some pink, blue and yellow elements, and I've got 5 sequin mixes from SpiegelMom Scraps that work with my colour scheme. So I've got Glacier Summit and Blushing Bride, blue raspberry bubblegum, gold medallion and home sweet home. Now I think home sweet home was an exclusive mix to one of the pigment splash kits. I don't think that one will be available in the store to buy on its own, but the other 4 certainly will. So I'm going to be doing a bit of mixing and using bits from each of those mixes. So I've got 3 photos of my little boy. This was a recent photo shoot we did at home in his Christmas clothes and loads of sort of Christmas props. So he's got a different Christmas jumper on in each photo, and I wanted to get them all on the same page. So I've printed them quite small, they're 2 by 3 inches, and then I'm backing these frames with them and just trimming the corners off. So they're quite small photos, but it works perfect with getting them on the page in these frames. I'm going to have them on my background like so. So I've got 2 on the right and 1 over on the left, and then I'm going to have some horizontal lines going through each one from left to right on the page, a bit of thread, and then I'm going to embellish kind of tone on tone across those horizontal lines. So to get my thread to stay in place, I'm using my crocodile. I'm just going to punch some holes down either end, set some eyelets into those, and then have that embroidery thread in different colours going through the centre. And there we go, I've fast forwarded through that for you. I'm just now going to add my embroidery thread, and I was trying to decide on a colour to use for that centre line. So the chipboard frame and the bits and pieces from the Hip Kit Club kits are actually kind of a mustardy yellow, almost bordering on a greeny yellow. So yellow thread wasn't really working too well, so I've pulled out more of a grass green kind of thread, and that actually worked really well, matches quite nicely. So I'm going to thread those through the eyelets and then just tape them in place on the back. Just like so. Love the power of editing. So I've got my thread in place now, and I'm going to work on embellishing tone on tone in a horizontal fashion along that thread line. So I've pulled out some of the fabric bows from the kits. I'm just building them up. I'm only using the kind of bow section and the backing part that it sits on. I'm not using the bit that wraps around the middle. Instead, I'm going to wrap some metallic silver thread around those, just to hold them in place, and that is mainly because the coordinating colours for each piece I've already used on another layout for Hip Kit Club, so I didn't have a yellow, pink and blue centrepiece left, so I had to get a little bit creative there, and I've just gone with the silver thread because a lot of the embellishments from the Hip Kits for November have silver foiling in, so I thought silver would work quite well. So my bows are all made up and pretty much in place now, and it's just a case of bringing in each of the embellishments. I've chosen loads of smaller bits, so I've got some presents, some round chipboard flare, I'm going to bring in some florals, a couple of baubles, just matching up the colours there and just working on those embellishments along those lines. So I do move things around a little bit until I'm happy, and just have a little bit of a play. But yeah, so just basically getting everything tone on tone along those horizontal lines. So I'm really happy with how this is looking. I've got quite a bit on the page, but still in a minimal fashion, which doesn't overcrowd the page, which I really love. So a great way to get lots of little things on a page without making it look too crowded. Now I'm going to raise those chipboard frames up with some foam behind them, just to introduce a bit of dimension, just to help them pop off of that line, so you haven't got everything looking so flat along the line. And a few of the smaller embellishments I'm going to raise up on foam as well before sticking those down. So I'm pretty much done with my design now. Everything is stuck in place and I can move on to the fun part of adding my bling, my sequins. So I'm starting off with the blue raspberry bubblegum mix. It's got loads of pinks and blues in it, so perfect for 2 of my 3 sections on my page here. It's got different shades, different sizes, different patterns. I just love this mix, it's really pretty. And if you've got the Simple Stories Feeling Frosty collection, I think it will work really well with that collection as well. So I'm just using this mix for the pink and the blue sections, and as you can see on that line of pink there's just so many different shades of pink. Really pretty mix. So I'm just getting them all in place. I'm not scattering them across or anything, I'm just picking up sequins individually and adding them along my line. And then to the pink line I'm also going to add some Blushing Bride. That's another kind of pink mix with different shades in, absolutely stunning. To the blue line I'm going to add a bit of the Glacier Summit. And then that yellow section across the middle, I'm going to do a mix of the gold Medallion, and I'm going to pick out the yellow, which I'm doing here, from Home Sweet Home. So they're really tiny little yellow ones, really sweet, but they're just great for just scattering along those lines in various places, just to add a sprinkling of sparkle. So I've done the yellow ones, and I'm going to add a few of the gold to that as well. So I've just skipped through a lot of the video for you here. It took me a while to get all my sequins in place and then stuck down, but I've used my glossy accents to stick them in place, and that's held them really nicely. And that is me done. So I absolutely love how this page turned out. It's just a page made of lots of little things, which really makes me happy. It's just such a sweet page, and it was really fun to create. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the process and the layout. I will leave a link in the description box below for you to the SpiegelMom store. If you shop via that link, you will save 15% on your order at checkout, and that link won't expire. You can use it time and time again to keep it somewhere safe if you want to save 15%. And I'll also pop a link down to our Spread the Sparkle Facebook group as well. If you're not already a member, do head on over and join. But thanks again for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll leave you with the rest of the close-ups, and I'll see you next time.